The whole world stands as the witness of horrendous aggression of the Russian Federation against the territorial integrity, sovereignty and independence of Ukraine. Russia is ruthlessly attacking cities, towns and villages across Ukraine in violation of the rules and principles of international humanitarian law. The civilian population is mercilessly shelled and bombed as a result of indiscriminate and premeditated attacks. Russian forces are using cluster munitions and other weapons prohibited by international humanitarian law. Thousands of civilians are dead and wounded, more than 20 children are killed. Already around 1 million Ukrainians left the country. Millions are internally displaced. Mounting evidence of the actions of Russian military forces in Ukraine indicates the gravity and scale of Russia's blatant violations of international law. Russia as a state is liable on the international level as well as on the individual level for those persons involved in planning, ordering, aiding and executing its military operations. If Russia is not held accountable for these horrendous crimes against the Ukrainian people, it risks undermining and credibility of international law and rules-based order altogether. International community has been anonymous in imposing severe and immediate sanctions on Russia in response to its actions. Moreover, we welcome the decision of the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court to proceed with investigations into alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity of the Russian Federation and the Republic of Belarus committed and being committed in Ukraine. This is a clear message that these hideous will not go unpunished. At the same time, the Office of the Prosecutor General of Ukraine, as well as other law enforcement authorities, are investigating concrete crimes with the ultimate objectives of establishing the truth and bringing perpetrators to justice. We are also pursuing other available bilateral and multilateral mechanisms to ensure criminal accountability for these crimes. This, however, is not sufficient for ensuring justice for the victims of these atrocious crimes. War crimes and other human rights and humanitarian law violations committed against the people of Ukraine are the gravest crimes of concern for the international community. We appeal to the international community to consider the possibilities of commencing investigations into alleged war crimes and other human rights and humanitarian law violations committed on the territory of Ukraine to the extent possible under national legal frameworks. I would like to express my gratitude to Lithuania and Poland, which are already investigating war crimes that are taking place on the territory of Ukraine. In parallel with the criminal proceedings, we also urge the international community to consider strengthening sanctions against Russia, as well as persons involved in planning, ordering, aiding and executing its military operations in Ukraine. We strongly believe that neither Russia's military and political elite nor its oligarchs should be able to benefit from assets kept safely abroad until now. We are also establishing a task force to initiate the process of freezing and seizing these assets. These possessions should be directed towards Ukraine post-war reconstructions and for the benefit of its people. This will send a powerful signal that, alongside unprecedented unity in supporting Ukraine's independence and sovereignty, the international community will join forces to ensure accountability for crimes committed, thereby strengthening the credibility of rule of law in international relations. Today, Ukraine is fighting for its sovereignty, independence, and peace in Europe. We are the final barrier before Putin reaches the EU member states. This is war for Europe waged in Ukraine. Be aware that my office and Ukraine might be cut off from the communication channels due to the heavy bombing of our territory. However, I am assured that in such a case, the international community will continue taking strong actions for establishing the truth and bringing perpetrators to trial. Inaction today means complicity to a war crime. Putin was not held responsible for Grozny. He was not held liable for Georgia. You decided not to follow through regarding Donbass and Crimea. If you close your eyes regarding Kiev, Kharkiv, and tens of other Ukrainian cities, the next will be the capitals of the EU states. Therefore, we ask you to help us to hold all criminals accountable. Close Ukrainian sky for Russian airplanes, which brings death and destruction. Grant NATO membership to Ukraine. We ask you to help by making important steps. Please, stop the Russian invasion and save the lives of millions of innocent Ukrainians. Slava Ukraini!